I hope that you are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We are going to talk about books. And today's book, our first book for February, is Last Girl Breathing by Court Stevens. It's a YA mystery thriller. And it all begins with Lucy getting urgent texts from her mom. And the texts are about her stepbrother, Martin. He's supposed to be at the most important football game of the year, of his life even. But he's missed practice and nobody knows where he is. And this isn't the first tragedy that has struck this family. 8 years ago, Lucy's younger brother died on a camping trip when the dam on the river gave out and his body was never recovered. Now they're dealing with Martin's disappearance. Search parties are formed and the search begins. But the tragedy is about to get bigger. Martin is not the only one missing, and others, including Lucy, are keeping secrets. Secrets about Martin and secrets about the past. It gets even worse when they realize that Martin's disappearance may be linked to the first tragedy. The story is told from the current time and from the day of the failure of the dam, 8 years before. It's a fast-paced story with multifaceted characters, and I basically read this book in less than 14 hours. But a bit of a warning first. Lucy is a competitive shooter hoping to be in the Olympics. Her hometown is a small town where hunting is a regular part of their life. Several tragedies occur in this story, including gun violence, death by drowning, and child abuse discussed that had taken place in the past. If any of these topics are triggers for you, think carefully before reading this book. Those of you who do read it are in for a twisty read with lots of surprises. What else can you read for a similar experience? We're going to focus on YA mysteries and thrillers where something in the present is tied to a mystery from the past. And first up is Blood in the Water by Caleb Roehrig. Zach, his sister Ruby, and their father Luke all live in a beach town called Barton Beach. It's a popular tourist area. Luke's father started a restaurant that Luke and his brother Flash now own. Flash is more of an absent partner, so Luke and Zach do most of the work themselves. Ruby hangs around during the day, mostly reading and listening to true crime podcasts. Truth be told, Luke feels a responsibility to keep the restaurant that his father began going. And they've been very busy this week. It's spring break and there are tourists everywhere. Years ago, Flash was a surf champion, and he now prefers to work odd jobs as opposed to working in the restaurant. That's why Zach is surprised when he goes into the walk-in freezer and sees his Uncle Flash. Flash said that he just went in there to get a bag of frozen vegetables because he got into a fight and needed it for his eye. Zach is very close to Flash and he loves him dearly. They seem to understand one another. As Flash is leaving the restaurant, he and an old surfing competitor get into a disagreement. They're pulled apart and they each go their separate ways. The next morning, the police arrive at the restaurant to tell the family that Flash was discovered dead. After further investigation, they realize that Flash was murdered. Zach's top suspect is Flash's old surfing competitor. Let's face it, they just got into a fight the night before. But the police, they suspect Luke. Unhappy with the police investigation, Zach decides he must look into it himself. Ruby guides him with information she gets from the true crime podcasts she listens to. What Zach doesn't realize is that if he keeps asking questions, he might end up a target as well. This book is a multimedia format with old newspaper stories and images and other things that Zach finds in his investigation scattered throughout the story. The Girl Who Knew Too Much by Tiffany Brooks. Riley made a fool of herself in the previous school year and has been an outcast ever since. She is thrilled when she's chosen to be a contestant on a reality TV show. She's excited for the opportunity to turn her life around. Whisked off to a deserted tropical island with 19 other teens competing for $1 million and the opportunity to find a missing treasure. And this treasure is rumored to be lost on the island. It's also said that the treasure is cursed. 7 people will have to die before the treasure can be found. 6 people have already died. Riley is familiar with the island and she's familiar with the treasure because the 6th victim of the curse was her godfather Miles, who died looking for the treasure on the island a couple years ago. And in fact, Riley was with Miles on that island part of the time that he was searching. She's been interested in the treasure ever since. As they search for the treasure, they realize that there is someone else on the island, and they are searching for the treasure as well. The thing is, that someone else may want the treasure so much that they're willing to kill for it. 7 Dirty Secrets by Natalie D. Richards. Cleo receives an invitation to a scavenger hunt on her birthday, and she is convinced that it's from her brother or from her best friend Hope. But they have gotten other gifts for her. Cleo has no idea who sent the invitation to the scavenger hunt, but she and Hope are always up for a scavenger hunt, so they get started on it. But the random scavenger hunt clues begin to feel less random. Every clue is about Cleo's dead boyfriend, Declan, who drowned the previous year on a group rafting trip. And then the phone calls start, and it's just Declan's voice with the question, "Are you ready?" Time is running out for the scavenger hunt, but it's clear that someone knows what happened, and that someone wants Cleo and her friends to pay. And there we are. I hope that you are in the mood for some twisty mysteries, and I hope that you will give one or all of these a read. Next week, we'll be talking about the book that I'm currently reading, The House in the Pines by Anna Reyes, and it is fiction. And I hope you'll join me then to talk about it, and until then, I hope that you enjoy all that you do and all that you read. And thank you.